Hey fellow travelers, welcome to Connecting Over Coffee. My name's Louisa and today we are in Parc Bouchumont in the heart of Paris. And I'm here with my very good friend for a long time and fellow traveler, Gary Berrios.
Hello. Hello.
So Gary, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I'm from Queens, New York.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. Queens. Queens representing.
So what do you do?
I teach English and Spanish.
Okay.
I also translate.
Sweet. And that's what you studied, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So today's episode, I just wanted to focus on how someone can go about moving to Paris. And I know you did it. It's been almost 10 years now for you. So you're probably going to be like, whoa, Lou, I don't know if I can remember all those details.
Oh, yeah.
But, but we're going to try. We're going to try. So what inspired you to move to Paris?
That's a good question. I originally did not want to go to Paris. This was in college. It was my freshman year of college. Ever since I graduated from high school, I actually wanted to study in Canada.
Okay, like Montreal or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, Montreal or Ottawa. Yeah, it was my freshman year of college. I wanted to do my undergrad studies in Ottawa or in Montreal. I went in my sophomore year for a week. To practice my French. I was minoring in French, majoring in media studies.
Okay.
And yeah, it was the first time I went abroad. Well,
abroad.
Yeah.
Just like our neighboring country.
Yeah, exactly, nearby. Yeah, it was really nice. It was amazing. I really enjoyed it. And when I got back to New York, I decided, all right, this is where I want to study. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so I went back to the university to figure out if there was an exchange program. At that time, there wasn't an exchange program. However, there was an exchange program between New York and Paris.
Okay.
But at that time, I didn't know if it was an option. I didn't know if I was qualified
or if it was possible. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I was qualified. I was
mm-hmm.
qualified to go, and yeah, I had to think it over. Because
it's quite a distance.
Exactly, it's far. Obviously, it's obviously far. You get worried because I come from a middle class family. Mm-hmm. Going abroad, especially to Europe.
That it's meant for more like rich people, or
exactly like
not like for everyday.
If you go to Europe, it means that you made it in society. Like you have a six-figure salary that you really,
if only.
I know.
Gotcha.
I have probably 2 figures out now.
That's like, I don't know, no more than $10, $20.
Yeah.
Okay. When was that moment that it hit you that you were moving to Paris?
When I told my mom.
Okay.
When I told my mom, I sat her down. I remember I sat her down. First, I was waiting for the approval mm-hmm. that I'm going to Paris, and then that's when I told my mom. I'm like, all right, I'm going to Paris for 1 year.
Oh wow.
And
yeah.
And
how'd she take it?
It was bittersweet.
Okay.
She was happy because I was going to another country. Like, it's an awesome opportunity, and the only person in my family that went to Europe was my sister. Mm-hmm. And I have 2 sisters and 1 brother. Me, especially at my age, going to Europe, it's just not common.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not common.
And you left like really young too.
Exactly. So she was happy, but a little sad because
yeah, her son is leaving.
Exactly.
Her baby.
Yeah.
Totally.
So, yeah, and it's basically for us in our family, it was leaving to the unknown, because everything we heard about Europe was it's on TV, movies,
mm-hmm.
It's, to me, it was just very foreign.
Yeah, definitely something different.
Exactly, yeah.
How did you prepare for this move?
When I got back from Quebec, I made it was like a New Year's, it was sort of a New Year's resolution. I was like, all right, I'm going to plan it. I'm going to give myself 1 year, all right? At that time, I was working a part-time job. I was working and studying. I was working in a bank, you know?
Yeah.
And I said to myself, all right, if I'm going to do this, I have to do this correct. I have to save money.
You have to come correct.
Yeah. Save every penny counted. And yeah, I gave myself 1 year. Yeah.
We had a little guy walk through the camera.
Oh. He wanted to join us.
Yeah, he was like, hey, what's going on? Hey, camera.
Can I
hi."
join? Yeah.
Okay. And so how did you go about getting the visa to, I guess you got a student visa because you went through like.
At the time, I think it still is, it was the New York and Paris exchange program.
Okay. So
this was a year before leaving. And I asked all the questions, you know, how much is it to go? Does financial aid cover? Can I work when I'm there? You know, all the questions. Will the credits count? So basically, I was mind mapping. I was planning it, you know, from the flight to the to the rent, you know, to live out here. Yeah,
just to be prepared for it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I totally get that. Yeah. What did you bring with you?
Oh yeah, I don't remember. It was 2 suitcases.
Okay.
One big one, and a small suitcase.
It's just filled with clothes or?
Yeah. Clothes, my laptop.
Very important.
My I brought my French book.
Oh yeah, that would make sense.
Because when I was minoring, I had to buy a book, and I think it was called Vis-a-Vis. I think I still have it.
Oh, I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
Big textbook, fat one, and I was like, I have to bring it, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna be learning French and studying French, speaking French.
I better practice. I better practice. Yeah.
Okay, and then so when you got here, your first day, what was that? What was that like?
It was like a bit of euphoria. It was like, you know, I was thinking back at the times, you know, in junior high school and high school, the times where we would study European history, world history, and it was pretty amazing to, you know, to say I'm finally in Europe. This is like, you know, this is where it all happened. Well, this is where a lot of things happened, a lot of history, and it was amazing to think that I'm here. I'm in Europe. It was pretty.
I'm trying to think of the word for what you're trying to say.
Yeah, it's like.
I can't remember either.
Yeah.
But it's just that moment when it hits you, and it's like, oh shoot, I'm here.
Yeah.
Not like an epiphany, but something else.
No, like a euphoria, like a, you know. I don't know if that's the right word. I don't know, but
it's a good word. It's a good word.
Exactly. And I still remember when the plane landed in Paris, and it was like 5 a.m. So you see, it's still dark, but you see a
little bit of like a light coming.
The lights, and then you see on the screen that, you know, you're about to
land in Paris.
It's
like, oh, this is it, baby.
Exactly. And it was like, this is it. Like
that's it.
I'm in another part of the world.
And going to live too. It's not like, oh, I'm just visiting.
Exactly. It's not like taking the subway to Queens.
Yes, this is gonna be your life now, for the next however many.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What were some legalities that you had to face
when I got there?
When I
arrived in.
Yeah, like if there's anything that happened where you were just like, oh man, like I had to go through all these like legal stuff. Is it or? Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part, it was college administration.
Okay.
Fill out a whole bunch of forms, application forms for the program. After that, for the visa, I had to sign up for Campus France. Campus France is, I think, for all foreigners wishing to study in France, especially in Paris, they have to sign up for that.
Gotcha. And what is that exactly?
It's a website where you have a list of all the universities and
okay.
You can sign up
just like choose from.
Yeah, it's like a directory, like
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
How much did you save to survive? Do you remember how much you put away, or how much you took out, like loan wise?
All right.
I mean, you know,
yeah, it
I guess
was.
that seems like a thing.
I remember a year before leaving, I wanted to save up 10 grand.
Okay.
You know, because I'm at that time I was 18, so I was like, you know what, if and I was especially afraid of what would happen if I get there and I don't know, something goes wrong, I can't find a place to live.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
I was scoring for 10 grand. I saved up 8 grand.
Okay, that's
And
not
then
too bad.
after that, I took out a small loan because
Okay.
I was like, you never know.
Just to kind of tide you over.
Exactly, just in case, I need to come back home or,
Gotcha.
Yeah,
And then
for
but
security.
financial aid took care of the
Exactly, because I was still a student.
Okay.
I was studying at Queens College.
Okay. Yay.
I was still covered.
So you were still covered under their umbrella because it was the Paris New York exchange.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
I was
Okay.
a student at Queens College, but studying in Paris.
Sweet. And so you obviously had to get the student visa. How long does that visa usually last for?
All right. What happens is that once you get the final approval from the university that
Mm-hmm.
that you're going to Paris, you start the administrative procedure with the French consulate in New York.
Okay.
And what happens is that you first, at the time, I think it's changed a little. All right?
Yes, it's been 10 years almost.
Yeah, it's been 10 years. So, yeah. At the time, you needed to sign up for a visa to enter France.
Okay.
All right. It was a visa for about 3 months. Yeah, and 3 months would be like the time that you would get yourself together, with apartment, the paperworks, and then you have to go to the prefecture, which is like
The police precinct?
it's like it's more like the immigration office
Okay.
where you would register for a student card, what they call a carte de séjour,
Okay.
and that card is that allows you to stay in France, work, a part-time job.
Yeah. Like
you
up
know.
to what was it, 20? Is it 20, 24 hours?
20 hours a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's not bad. At least
Yeah.
a little side cash while you're studying.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Was there any culture shock for you?
Oh. Oh, yeah, culture shocks. Yeah, culture shock wise was it was everything. Everything was a shock to me. Everything was,
Really different?
yeah, it was really different. And I was raised in a Hispanic neighborhood, so I was raised where, we speak Spanish, it's I lived in a double culture. So it was I was kind of used to it. It was pretty easy to acclimate,
Gotcha.
to a new culture.
Despite that, yeah.
Exactly, a new language. What was difficult was speaking French and being understood.
Gotcha.
That was, it was real. For me, it was difficult.
Yeah. No, I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can imagine because everybody speaks kind of fast here. So.
Exactly, and I was raised in a culture where it was more, it's the Latino culture. It's we're more I don't know, flirty, more
totally.
touchy, very and I was used to that. I was used to that in French they call it that chaleur,
I understand.
So over here, you have the weather, and then you have sometimes winters are pretty harsh here, so
I mean, y'all don't get too much snow here. It's not like New York kind of like.
yeah,
winter.
but the dreary weather, the
That's
clarity.
true. You're right. I mean, Paris is cloudy 180 days out of the year, so that's like half the time.
Yeah.
But today
Today,
it's like partly
yes,
cloudy.
Yeah.
Clouds are coming, sun's coming in and out.
Yes,
Yes,
it's nice and sunny.
woo!
Yeah.
At any point did you feel homesick?
Did I feel homesick? Yes, a little bit. Yeah. There was a moment where I did feel felt a little homesick, Especially I miss my friends. Social media wasn't that big,
At the time,
and
yeah.
Skype wasn't that big either. So,
Yeah.
Everything was through email. So it was, the time that you don't hear from your friends, it's,
It gets lonely.
Yeah, it gets lonely, and yeah, it's, and it gets, it's difficult to me. It's a little, when you don't know the language, it does it does
becomes
get
a little bit difficult to
it gets difficult to
make
make friends,
friends,
and you know.
I can understand that.
Yeah. So I did felt a bit homesick, but I had to get out there. I had to make friends. I had to, you know, even though I spoke horrible French, my French was really bad, really bad. But
Well, you did it though.
yeah,
Here you are.
yeah,
You know, nearly 10 years later, and
yeah,
you got this pretty down.
yeah. Perseverance. You just gotta, you
Yeah,
know,
you just got to keep at it. You're
keep
right.
at it,
Perseverance
keep at
is
it,
everything.
exactly. Yeah,
Totally.
it is. It's yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, when you first got here, what were your accommodations like?
All right, when I first got here, they were already taken care of because there's an office. The New York Paris exchange program had an office here.
Okay.
They offered accommodations. For example, you can room and dorm if you had if your budget was a little bit more
Robust.
exactly. If you know, but at that time, you know, my budget was a little tight.
A little
So-
less robust.
Yeah, a little less. So I decided to do what they call au pair.
Okay.
You know, there's au pair, which is full time, which means babysitting.
Okay.
You know, you would babysit. Sometimes you would, you know, help children with their English. You know.
Yeah. So basically, an au pair in this situation is like you stay with a family, but in exchange,
Yeah.
you're teaching them how to speak English or
Exactly.
babysitting or something.
Well, you would be babysitting.
Okay.
You know, and during the time that you're babysitting, you're, you know, practicing. They're practicing their English with you, and in exchange, the family will give you a room to stay in their
Okay.
apartment. Yeah.
But you didn't stay there.
Yeah.
You stayed there for a while, or
I stood there for 6 months.
okay.
Yeah, 6 months.
And then
yeah.
after?
And then after, I decided to look for my own place.
Okay.
I was like, all right, this au pair stuff, it's a great experience, but
Not for me.
yeah, not for me, not for me, you know.
I understand that.
Yeah, I kind of want my, you know.
Yeah, you want your own space. You're
Exactly,
an individual. You want
yeah.
to meet people, you know.
Exactly.
Totally.
You know.
So how'd you go about finding an apartment then?
Oh,
or your own place?
Yeah, I went to the university
Okay.
because a lot of universities, it's like a student life office.
Oh yeah, yeah. Office of
where-
Student Life. Mhm.
Yeah, where they post you know, latest announcements on apartments, even jobs.
Sweet.
You know,
Okay.
you know, the universities here, they really help you out. Yeah.
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
you found your apartment that way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all. I didn't even know that. Okay.
Yeah. A lot
That's-
of people, not a lot of foreigners know that
Yeah,
you know,
that
you
they
can
have that.
actually go to the student life office and, you know,
They'll help you out. If
Yeah.
you're a student.
yeah.
Good to know.
And for any information, you know, if you're sick, you know, if you need a place to stay, you know,
They got you.
exactly.
Yeah, especially because you're like an exchange student, so they're like more.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How did you find food shopping? Your first food shopping experience?
My first food shopping experience when I went to the I think this was a Franprix I went to. I think it was a Franprix, and it was my second day in Paris, and like in Canada, I wanted to go to the supermarket, you know, check it out, and I was surprised it was the yogurt section. Yogurt section was I think it's big.
It's just lit. It was a party up
Yeah,
in there.
yeah. There were
So much yogurt.
Yeah, so many options. Yogurt
for days.
Yeah. It was the yogurt and the cheese aisle. That was.
Oh wow.
That was. That was.
Cheese, le fromage.
Yeah. So that was fun. That was fun. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is something to this day that you just don't understand that the French do?
Huh. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. That I don't understand. What? Yeah, I think it was one of the culture shocks too when I came here. It was the form. Well, I think for me, France it's a very formal country
Okay.
where, you know, things you got to follow a certain, you know. Everything has, you know, everything.
Like a protocol or?
Yeah, there's a certain amount of there's a protocol here.
Like formalities or?
Yeah, a formality that, you know, you can't, you kind of have to, you know, respect, you know,
Gotcha.
the formality. Whereas for me, I'm pretty you
Laid
know,
back.
I'm laid
Yeah.
back, and I'm kind of I'm very, in the sense, I don't know how to explain it. I'm very, you know, I like to be different. I like to, you know, do different things, and, you know, I'm very,
Yeah.
Yeah, I stand out a bit. I like to stand out, you know. But and this is, you notice this when you're traveling, that sometimes it's different in different countries. Standing out is not, you know,
not always
it
a good
doesn't
thing.
work. It doesn't
Yeah,
work.
I
You
see
know,
what you're
you
saying.
have to, you
A
know.
little blend in a little bit.
Yeah, you have to blend it a little bit. You
It's
have
probably
to-
safer that way too, if you think about it, like in the sense of like, you don't want to stand out as like a tourist. You don't want to stand out as a foreigner either, because then you're more apt to be like robbed
you have
or something.
to. Yeah, and when
When I
especially
think about-
yeah, and when you're going to a new country, you have to accept it. You have to accept that this is the way. This is their lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know, you have to adjust. You know.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's one thing that you wish the States would incorporate from the French?
For me, it would be the, you know, education should be a right, you know, not a privilege. Unfortunately, not a lot of Americans, young Americans, after they graduate high school, not a lot of Americans are able to go to college. You know,
Absolutely.
because, you know, the prices are just ridiculous.
Exorbitant. It's
Exactly.
highway robbery.
Exactly. And even if you do have a scholarship or a grant or something, it's still not enough. It's really not enough. So
Yeah,
you know,
you end up starting like below the starting point. You're like at a negative something because you have debt.
Exactly. You get in and you're already in debt. You know.
Yeah.
So in France, education is I have to say it's affordable. It's affordable.
Affordable if not free.
Exactly. Well, yeah. It's it's something that it's a right. You know, in France, it's a right. You have the right for education.
Yeah.
No matter what.
No, that's amazing. That's amazing. We need more of that in the States, you know.
Exactly.
So many people that would love
Yeah.
to go to school and they just can't, and they can't afford it.
Exactly. For me, students shouldn't have they shouldn't have to be thinking about, you know, enrolling in the Army Reserves or the Marines just to make that money.
Yeah.
So that later they can go to the university.
That's true.
You know, it's just not possible.
Not for everybody.
Yeah,
None of us are like rich or born, you know, with a trust
Yeah.
fund waiting for us.
Yeah. yeah.
So no, I totally get that. Yeah, hopefully one day, like, States will just have that.
Yeah. For bachelors and also for masters.
Really?
Master's degree, yeah. Master's degree, you know, it's affordable. It is affordable.
So you're like not in debt from going to school for this many years. Only the debt from like Queens College,
Exactly, yeah.
from the American school.
Yeah, which I just paid off.
Oh,
my God, yay! yes, it's such a weight lifted.
Only 10 years later. That seems to be the norm.
yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well,
It was,
well, thank you so much for participating today
Thank
and
you for
just being
having
here.
me. Yeah.
Those are legit all the questions I got for today. so
Okay. All right.
Thank you again, and thank you to everybody watching. And as always, stay safe and stay traveling. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, fellow travelers, I hope you liked that video. If there is a place or a city or a country you would like to know more about or you're thinking about visiting, please let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, really, truly, check out our other videos. I think you might like them. And also, ring the bell, because we release a podcast every other Monday, and then we'll be releasing some extra special content in between each podcast for you. Travel tips, travel advice, inspirational videos. We got lots of stuff. So, and we want you to be aware. We want you to be like the first to know. So definitely ring that bell and then hit the subscribe button. Seriously, because we're awesome and you're gonna love this channel so much. So I'm gonna wait until you hit that subscribe button. Did you hit the subscribe button?